Hello and welcome. This is Julie Silver Stitches here on FlossTube and on Instagram. Today is Sunday, January the 5th, 2025. Happy New Year. I hope everybody made it out of the new year to be okay. I was busy stitching. That's what I did. All New Year's Eve. 9 o'clock on at least for sure, and I'll go into that a little bit more. It's a sunny day here now. It was snowing, so the brightness from the snow plus the sun rays, I'll try and stay over here. I stitched on 10 projects. I had 2 new starts, and we will start with the new starts just because. Just have to find the new starts. So one of them was from a random stitcher. Lorna had put this out on her Facebook group. This is Hidden Disability Sunflower by Lorna. You can find her on Facebook. She's also on FlossTube, and she's also on Instagram. But here I am for the progress for this. I do have things written down today, so that's good. Hopefully this will be more streamlined than the last one, because the last video that I did this morning, no, it was too choppy. It was too much. Okay, so here we are. This is 762 stitches. I decided to start this on December 30th while I was waiting in the hospital for James. His treatments are every 8 weeks, and they are for 2 days each, right? So he is getting treatments for his 2 autoimmune illnesses, and one of them affects the outside of his skin, and one of them affects the inside of his skin. If you want to message me and comment or find me on Instagram, I can share all about it. And also last time, I don't know if it'll work this time because I don't know why, but also last time I wasn't able to write anything on the screen, like the add text option wasn't available. So we're going to try that again. Who knows? But hopefully my screen is, I know it will be, but my screen is bigger. I don't know what setting I had in the last few videos, but I went through the camera settings here for video, and hopefully full screen instead of that partial 3/4 screen, whatever that was for the last couple weeks. I'm sorry about that. I didn't know it was happening until I was adding the pictures, and I was like, bam, here's the picture. I was like, why is it doing that? And then I went back, figured it out, but I think we're good. Okay. That was nope, that was Hidden Disability Sunflower. Okay, the next thing I had started was this. This was a random new start, only because I do like stitching on Mini Dragon in the morning, but I did not stitch it on that really at all this week. What I did stitch on, though, in replacement of that, I spent, not this. Oh, bananas. Nope. You think you have the project. Nope. 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 I think it's this one. Okay. Anyway, sorry. This is Winter Wolf by Artisy. I started it on the 31st. It was about 7:45, and anything that was open, right, because it's December 31st. 6:30? 7:30. All I know is that there was 15 minutes up until Walmart ended up closing, right, because of, maybe it was 8:45? No, they would have closed at 8. Anyways, regardless, I was in there 15 minutes, and then they closed, right? So I was just there really for the fabric because I had everything else, and maybe some 939 if they have it, because as everybody knows, Walmart doesn't carry the full line of DMC, right? So picked up a few skeins of DMC 939 because this is what that primarily project is all about. And here we go. This is 434 stitches. Started down here in the middle, worked my way up with the 939, worked my way over to the edge because I just needed to make sure that it would fit, and it did. So this is the first left-hand side diagonal. This is the first page right diagonal, and I don't know how I'm stitching it yet, but it's however it will be, right? Like that's how it's gonna end up. Who knows? Not replacing Mini Dragon in the morning, but I really want my friend to be able to have that project hanging on a wall by the time sooner rather than later. That is 50,000. Dragon in the morning is like 105 or 109,000, so big difference, big difference. We're not talking about that because who knows. Next, now I'm just going to go in line with everything that I've stitched because now we're back on track. Okay, so I am participating in Glamours 3, which is held by Siski Stitches. Sometimes I stitch it, sometimes I don't. It all depends on what the wheel determines. Every morning I create a wheel with all of that day's projects on it, between temperature, between the Glamorous 3, between all of my full coverages, if I'm choosing to participate in Ticket to Ride, if I'm choosing to participate in WhipGo, which I am right now, so I have 2 projects for that. There's a various amount of things on that board. So, I mean, on that wheel. So I spin that every morning I spend that every time I finish working on a project. So, Fancy Teapots was a call for the Glamours 3 one day. It's also getting called today, so hooray. But that's this. This is Fancy Teapots for now. We'll go all the way from the bottom to the top, because that's where I'm working on right now, is that middle teapot. And so that middle teapot, I finished the handle. Not finished, because I feel like... Oh no, I did finish it. Finished the handle, finished that blue stripe in the middle of that middle teapot, and now I am working on that gold color. So that was 100 stitches. I should, if the wheel determines that I work on it today, should work on it again today, because this was the Glamours 3 call for today. Like I said, I don't stitch on everything every day because who has the time? Because I have so many projects that who's got the time for that, right? Hidden Disability Sunflowers, I'll talk about. Steampunk Portal is this. This is Steampunk Portal. It is a Heaven and Earth design SAL for 2025. I finally figured out how it wants me to stitch it. I've put in 674 stitches since you've last seen this, which makes it past the 1,000 stitch mark. So this is 1,004 stitches. So I attempt to stitch, well, I'm going to want to, this is only the first week. So I'm going to try and attempt to stitch 1,000 stitches a week over the 6 days or 7 days that I'm working on it. So that breaks down to like 140, I think I determined. 140 stitches a day? Something like that. Anyways, this is where I am. And it's been really fun. So I started the diagonal. I started off doing a diagonal. That wasn't working for this pattern. So now I'm royal rosing it. Is that a thing? Royal rose. I am sticking to a step method, royal rose method. So each block. We'll see how that goes. And if I don't like it, then I'll switch it up. And if I do like it, then I'll continue. And there's not... Honest to good child. Okay. Next is the Winter Wolf, which I already showed you. Next is White Mandala. This is what White Mandala looks like. I stitched on this for 154 stitches over 2 days. One was a temperature stitch, so that's 30 minutes. That's where the 54 stitches came in. And then the next day, the next time was a Glamorous 3, so that was 100 stitches. And this is where we're at. We are currently at 9.51. I'm using a DMC variegated thread 4505, and this is on an oatmeal fiddler's cloth, maybe 14 count. Maybe oatmeal, maybe fiddler's cloth. Who knows, right? Nobody knows because I don't track progress like that. At least at that time. Okay, white mandala, the lantern. This is what I'm going to be stitching for the lantern. It was originally Cat on Bookshelf. This designer is Artisy. It's on pink fabric because that's what I had at the time. The pink fabric is not what's deterring me from stitching on it. I had only stitched 67 stitches on it. It goes this way, and it was down here. So I'm trying to finish off the angle, the diagonal of this. But see this little line here? Starting around here somewhere, those stitches are in the wrong place. So I either frog them out, I tear them out, which is going to be a little bit of a headache, or I just scrap this completely and start the whole project on a different piece of fabric, which might happen because why am I not stitching that cat? That cat is the centerpiece of this whole thing. What am I doing? This is because I'm a serial starter and I want to start all the things the minute they, pique my interest, right? So I find the fabric in my house. If the fabric's not big enough, I cut it down. I need to stop doing that because it never works out. Never works out. The next thing on the list in front of me is Pokemon starters. This is one of my Whip Go. This is also one of my Whip Go pieces, so we'll see how that goes. But this is one of my Whip Go pieces. And this is one of my temperature pieces. That's how they go, 49. Okay, so I worked on this 3 times this week, I think, it seems like. 249 stitches were added. I was able to finish this one up here. Sprigatito? Is that who it is? I keep not remembering. And then my brain hasn't wrapped around what her name is yet, so Sprigatito. I am not a grass enthusiast. But I finished that and I started working up on Rowlet, the top of Rowlet, and I was able to finish to Pig because this dude right here, he was missing a whole lot of 3857 because I didn't have that color at the time. And so because of Steampunk Portal, I now do. So I filled in a little bit of the ninja stitches in his face and his body. So now he is currently, so far, completely complete. Hooray! So that is at 20.08, 3,707 stitches total. The next one in the list is something that I decided with the help of Lisa crossed by Floss. I decided that I wanted to do something with all of my paper patterns. I just didn't know how I wanted to pursue stitching them over the year, right? So I decided to know that I wanted to touch all my pieces. And if I follow through with this plan with all my digital patterns and all of my paper patterns, this will work because I have all of my digital patterns placed somewhere in my plans for the year. But I didn't have any of my paper patterned plans pieces. Oh my goodness. Anywhere. And I didn't know how. I put them all on a wheel. I was going to spin the wheel once a week, see how far I got, but that didn't determine, okay, I can do this, I will work on this because some of them I want seeing finished. I want to see some finished, but that's not going to happen because I'm not drawn to them anymore. but I want to see them finished because it's either been so long or because I just can't give them up, or I do want to see them finished, but I just have no interest of working on them at the time. So as long as I get them out and have them in my hands, that's okay. But I was trying to figure out how long it should be. Lisa Floss, Crossed by Floss, also on FlossTube and also on Instagram, she suggested what she's doing is 25 in 2025. So she has picked 25 of her projects and she is going to be stitching 250 stitches on them with approximately 4 hours. So 250 stitches or 4 hours, whatever comes first, because sometimes you're just dragging along, you want to see the progress, so that's the 4 hours. Or if you're super enthusiastic, you can do the 250 stitches because, So here we go. I'm waving around this because this is what I was working on. This is Snail by Mill Hill. That was spun first this round. And I am currently, this is how I did it last time, because I've done, I've already, talked about all of these projects already, right? Because I've already filmed this whole thing once. Okay, so let's go like that. Okay, so here I am. This is Snail by Mill Hill. It's on a 14 count piece of perforated paper, but I worked in all of his little green body, and I'm currently now stitching in the background. So if you take a look at the, if you take a look at the pattern, right, the stitches for his shell, those are all done. The body is now all done. Now I'm working on the background. If you can get the glare off of that, that's better. Yeah, the background of that light blue. So that was 250 stitches. Super impressed with this until I need to figure out how to put the beads on, because as you know, a couple weeks ago I was working on Spot, also from Mill Hill. That's what this guy looks like. He just needs his beads. How am I going to do that? I don't know how. So the last time I worked on it, hold on, pause. Okay, the last time I worked on it, I filled up this bowl with the beads, all the different colors of beads in that project. And that didn't work out so well because look how deep that is. That's a deep bowl, like I'm trying to fish out with the needle one certain color. Disastrous. And then Skitters jumped up and it was going to be game over because I knew he was going to want to be interested in everything. So that didn't happen, right? So I was problem solving and trying to figure out how I want to go around stitching, because in theory, almost all the stitches are done on this. So maybe 1 or 2 more days of stitching on that. And I'll have to start beading, right? Because all the stitches will be done. But I just finished a box of chocolates the other day. This is the container they came in. And so this is great. This is a good size. But at the same point, there's no lid. There's no lid on this. So I'm thinking of going out and getting those travel containers that are like this big with the screw-on lids for the liquids if you're traveling, just because then that'll be a good size. Then I can also, over time, if it's the same color of the if it's the same color of bead from one project to another, I can just add it in and that'll be the color, right? We'll see. I also came across last week when we were trying to reorganize the disaster back here, a couple, maybe 10 years ago, I was enabled to buy many beads. But I have a container, but they're all kind of sliding through the spaces, so I don't know how that's going to work. But either way, that can also be an option. But the spaces in between, like the the little boxes that they give you aren't individual. So yeah, they're sliding in between. I don't know how that's going to work, but that's okay. But yeah, so that's what I was using. But if anybody has any other suggestions that are avid beaders, if you can let me know what you do, just to see if I can try and, because I have a few Mill Hill projects, right? And I want to get them finished. I want to finish them. I just don't want to leave them lingering, but I can't figure out the best way to do that. Okay, next I have two more. December is first. December is this, the whole chart is Little Dove Designs, Little Dove's Year, and that's what this looks like. But I'm only focusing right now on December, so that's what this looks like. And I was able to put in 91 stitches. I chose to start off on the tree because that's the color I had on hand. And that is my clock, if you can hear it, because that's how quiet it is, because everybody is sleeping. But that's where I am with that. This was must have been a call for temperature stitching because it was only 91 stitches. The next thing I was able to get out last night, because this was also a temperature stitching situation, so it was 30 minutes. This is last piece. This is Mini Snow Leopard by Artisy, and I was able to put in 88 stitches. Woo! This, I think, essentially, yeah. This is the end of the middle, so that's why that's like that. But I'm stepping down, so I was carrying $37.99 all the way through from top to bottom, because that was one of the colors I had available to me at the time, because I didn't really want to go searching for any other color if I didn't have to, and it was in all 4 blocks, or all step blocks all the way down. So that is at 1,088 now, at 3.85%. That is it for my previous work. I am going to show you what I did for the threads of Steampunk Portal, and a picture that is ridiculously cute because Charlotte was being a little bit kitten-like last night. She tried to fit herself into a box. So I don't have the box here, but I decided to put all of my threads on thread cards. These aren't all of them because there are still more in the box, but these are 3 holding 20 each. So this is 60 of the 90 colors, 88 colors. Anyways, 3 cards holding 20 each side of 10, I think. And so there's still some more in that box, but at least the majority of my colors for Steampunk Portal are now on cards. Once I finish Fancy Teapots. Once I finish Fancy Teapots, I can take its floss card and keep going. So, and then I think there will only be a couple colors left, instead of trying to figure out where this skein of floss is in this box, because it wasn't working out well and it was taking up time and all the things. So that's that. I'm going to stop there for now, and the next thing I'm going to try, I'm not going to try. The next thing that you're going to be seeing is the wheel for the 250 stitches. So what I've called this wheel is Stitch to 250, I think. It's all my paper charts that I want to work on for the whole year. So if I'm going to take Snail out because I don't know if I have already. And let's see where that is. Let's find out together. I'm going to film it. Hello. Okay, so here we are with the Stitch to 250 wheel. These are all of my paper projects that you have seen before, but who knows. So let's press start and see what happens. Okay, so I will get out Forever and go from there. Just a second. Okay, so that is the wheel spin for this week for the paper charts is stitched to 250, and that will be Forever by Alessandra Adelaide. I am doing it on the black fabric. It's going to be a 16 count black Aida with the not called for fancy floss. It is a Threadworks, but the Threadworks that they call for is 1154. I don't know. It didn't, and that came up as like a super variegated floss for me when I looked it up. So I got something similar, but here we go. None of that has been stitched in yet, I don't think. Maybe one square. But anyway, here's where we're at for Forever by Alessandra Adelaide. And this also has beads, so whenever I get there, it will be exciting. That's all I know. That's it for now. Hold on. Okay, so the next thing that is going on my wheel this week will be my temperature stitching. So I already looked them up for my last video, so here we go. So Never Quit, that's this. Never Quit, I need to get to the edge of the design because I want to make sure that the stitches all fit. That's one of the projects that I started in the middle and hoped for the best. So I was working away across that middle line, and so that'll determine on whether I can fit this project. So if I can fit it and I'm happy with the edges, fine. If not, then I'm going to scrap that fabric, find something new, and continue stitching it. That will be, eventually, that will be one of my hospital stitches because it's Never Give Up, Never Quit. Sorry, Never Quit is like all the motivational words kind of things. So Mini Snow Leopard, I already showed it, but I'll be stitching on this for 200 stitches. No, 30 minutes a day. So, oh my goodness. Okay, temperature stitches, 30 minutes a day. Thank you to Sarah, Stitched Mummy, for suggesting that, 30 minutes. Thank you. Yeah, so 30 minutes a day on Mini Snow Leopard. That'll come out 2 times or 1 hour, depending on whether what kind of timing I have. White Mandala 3, I've already showed it as well. That's this. It'll come out 1 time for 30 minutes. Christmas Gnomes will come out 1 time as well, if the wheel deems fit. Mini Watching the World Go By, that's this. This is Lucy Pitaway. This is still at 69.68% or something. Am I ever going to get it to 70? Who knows? Maybe this time. And then the last thing on the temperature stitches part of the wheel will be Pokemon Starters. That is this. I'm just over 20% on that. So, you know, it all adds up, right? It all adds up. The next thing that I'm going to do is I picked out 3 trips for Ticket to Ride. I'm not going to link them in the description box below because, I don't know, they're going to get lost, I think. So this week, granted that I can put the words here now, I don't know if I can. I'm not going to say them because I am not from the Nordic countries of Europe, so there's no way. But picked 3 trips. They are all relatively short, so the most amount of stitches is 1200. The least amount of stitches is 900. If you want to do all of them, that's great. If you want to do only one of them, that's great. So the first trip that I pulled is this. Sorry if this doesn't appear because last time I wasn't able to add text. I don't know why. Anyways, so this trip is 3 white trains, 2 yellow trains, 4 orange trains, 3 purple trains. That's 1,200 stitches if you choose to want to do different charts. If you want to do the same chart, 1,200 stitches monogamously, up to you. This is the next one. Again, if it shows up, it shows up. If it doesn't, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. 4 blue, 2 purple, 3 orange. So those are all different colored trains. And then, so that's 900 stitches if I did the math correctly. And then this is the last train that I picked the roots for. You ready? So this is also 900 stitches, but they're all short. So if you want to stitch on a lot of different projects, but not have a lot of stitches for each project, then this is the one for you. 3 orange, 2 red, 1 purple, 1 gray, 2 green. Or if you want to combine them all, hold please. I don't know if that'll work because Charlotte was just knocking on the door. Sorry, Charlotte was knocking, scratching on the door of the kitchen. She likes to do that to get our attention. She doesn't really need any attention because she gets all the attention, but anyways. Okay, so that is Ticket to Ride. If you want to join along with me, that was temperature stitching. The last thing I wanted to talk about today, I just wanted to say thank you. Genuinely, like, some of the stitchers in this community we're all pretty fantastic, but there are a certain few that have stuck out, and, you know, I'm very grateful for having in our little community, just because they are so uplifting to other stitchers. It seems like nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. I know it's just all X's and, you know, some specialty stitches, of course, but the majority of our stitching is all X's, right? So it's just 1 X at a time. It's 1 stitch at a time. You can do it, you know. Sorry. And so the first one that I wanted to mention is Zook Stitch. Carolyn has many different Facebook groups she runs. Very active on the Facebook community. Is definitely uplifting. Everybody counts. Everybody matters. Fantastic. I'm only going to mention a few because there are so many of you guys, but the first few that I'm going to write down, I have a list, and I'll get back to each list each time, but for now, only a couple, because that way, if I miss some of you, or if, you know, you're not in said list at the time and that's it, that's all the conversation is done, yes, no. I'm only going to mention 2 or 3, and then, you know, over time, if I continue watching FlossTube and find somebody else that really inspires me to want to keep stitching, you know, want to stitch all the things, has that attitude of, you can do it, you know, because I know that life sometimes gets hard, and December for James and I turned out to be really hard. So thank you to the FlossTube stitchers that made December a little bit more uplifting, at least for me. I know James is still pretty low on the energy level, but you really helped me get back to where I need to be able to provide good content for, you know, my FlossTube channel. So, Zook Stitch, Carolyn. The Huga Stitcher, I know right now she's not filming a lot because she only really films about once a month, but when she does, it's fantastic. Fibers and Floss Canada, Erica, also wonderful. She did a whole series of like Flossmas videos, but they were all Stitcher related. You know, how to benefit Stitchers, and the gratitude and thankfulness that we have for everybody. I did not watch all of them, I will admit, but the ones that I did watch, you know, go check her out for sure. Small Town Stitches. We're just going to run through this list, and if I find any more in the future, then here we are. Small Town Stitches, Leanne. They all stitch all the things. They all stitch from, you know, smalls to full coverages, almost all of them. And Fancy Ladies, samplers, but Leanne focuses primarily on full coverages. But the way she explains things, the way it's just, I could just listen to you all day, you know, kind of idea. I already mentioned Lisa, but Crossed by Floss. She is another great FlossTuber. She's been around for many, many years as well. It gives you inspiration to be able to want to stitch all the things. She is definitely a fancy lady. The Miras and the Nora Corbetts and all of those. She's the lead runner for, like, she heads up like Mira May and Nora November and those kind of things. So she's trying to always have a couple of Miras on the go all the time. A random stitcher, Lorna. She is just, I have recently only found her a couple months ago, but super fantastic. Works on all the things, works on things from printed canvas to full coverages, not on printed canvas. So, you know, go check her out. Just Keep Stitching, Pam and Steph. I spent New Year's Eve with them. They are wonderful two people that just keep wanting you to do all of the things, right? They're always full of promotions, which is great. Sometimes I check out after just what they've stitched for the week because that's how much time I have, but the content that they stitch is wonderful. And the last one for this week, at least, is Lala D Stitches, Laura. She tries and gets out a video about once every 2 weeks, I think, or maybe once a month now that she's doing like Quilty Tube. I don't know what that. Anyway, she also quilts, so she tries to balance between the floss tubes and the quilting. Anyway, so thank you so much for so much inspiration to continue to want to stitch. Thank you for being pillars of our community. I don't know what it would be like if you ladies weren't there. That's my little thank you section. I know that it really helped me, like I said, over December, just going through all of these great videos, trying to get my head back straight for 2025, because I knew that I would have had to stay strong, in order for this house to run the way it needs to, because otherwise, anyway, thank you. I think that's it for, no, that's not it for me. I have, what did I want to add? Oh, something that Erica, so Fibers and Floss Canada, does. She does community events. So the latest community event that I've seen in my area of the world, which is Eastern Ontario, Canada, actually in my little town where I live, they are hosting, it's all right here. I can't remember all the details right now, but if you go to the website, and if you're in the area or if you're close to the neighborhood area, then, you know, it's just, it's good to get out and meet new people. I know most of the ladies there, I think, knit and crochet, but fiber art is fiber art, right? So therefore you can bring your cross stitch, no problems at all. I have not been ever, but that doesn't mean that I won't, now that this schedule is out. I didn't know what the schedule was before, but this is what it looks like. I don't know how long it's running for like that, but I'm positive all of the information is on the website. I have Charlotte jumping around, trying to mix me up, and She is the only one awake right now. Simon and Skitters are sleeping. James is sleeping. Charlotte is trying to be a diva princess like always. But other than that, I do think that this is the end because I really don't think I have anything else to talk about. Oh boy, now she started playing with I don't know what, so maybe we'll just stop there. Thank you for visiting. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending your time with me. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting if you choose to. That comment, no matter how small or long, if you decide to, you know, write me an essay, that's cool too. I don't mind. I will try and get back to you if there's something to get back to you for. Even if you just put hearts, you know, like Samantha was saying, the Hugo Stitcher, those mean the world because, you know, you've watched the whole episode, you're thinking about all the things, but you don't either have time to make a comment or whatever. At least that person knows that you've invested your however long the episode ends up being time in, you know. Now I'm kind of just rambling. So I'm going to go. I'm going to see about putting all of this together now because it was way more condensed. I don't know how long this one is. But I covered all the same information, so, and more. So thank you so much. Thank you for visiting again. And I will see everybody next week. I think that's it. Okay. Sparkle and shine. Bye, everybody.